Good morning, or I probably should say, relatively speaking, good afternoon, because I woke up this morning at about 2:30 a.m. thinking about IREN, IREN, and what's happened yesterday, and more importantly, what happened over the last month, and how I feel about it, and how I'm going to react to it. To give you some reference points, Iran is up over the last 12 months 254%, over the last 6 months 448%, and over the last month 21%. I have about 2,000 shares. They reached a high of 75, which was about $150,000, and today those 2,000 shares are worth about $42 or 84,000. So I can't say I lost 66,000, but as a result of yesterday, I feel that I lent someone $66,000 worth of my IREN shares to help IREN finance their future. So in essence, my my holdings are now in the hands of someone who is going to purchase them, the shares, as a part of a loan agreement that Iran has entered into, in which they are putting up shares, my shares, your shares, as collateral for that loan. So I ask myself, why are they borrowing money? For what? I categorize them as a growth stock, so I'm guessing they're borrowing that money and putting up shares as collateral, thus diluting my shares to grow their business. What business are they in? Well, in reality, they are in the rental business. They rent real estate. They rent concrete and air conditioning and buildings and electricity and water to companies like Microsoft and Meta and Google and anybody else who wants to use compute to process data to give them an edge in their business. So they're in the rental business as well as the manufacturing of Bitcoin. Are they good at it? Well, I looked up their gross margins are 70%, and it says their net margins are 76%. How can that be? Well, I think it has something to do with the increasing value of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin that they hold in reserve. So their net margins are larger than their gross margins. So I then go through the process that said, okay, I lent them $66,000 worth of my shares that they are now going to turn into profits or revenues on which they make 76% operating margin. So for every dollar they make or they generate in revenues on my $66,000, they'll make 76 cents in net margins, net at 70 in net profits. 76 cents on the dollar. Okay. If they assign, if they get assigned a PE ratio of 25 over the next 10 years, my $66,000 will turn into $500,000, and my return on investment of $66,000 will be 657%. That's what Kerry's been thinking about since 2:30 this morning. So it justified yesterday when I saw it dropping $1 a share every 30 minutes, that I went in and bought 300 new shares in anticipation that my investment, my lending of 66,000 of my past holdings in shares to grow this business is a good business. There are many places that I can put my money and get a 76% annualized return on investment. They're just than investing in the stock market. So that's what I've been thinking about. Um, I I think that why did the stock drop though, so over the last month from 75 to $42 a share? Well, I think there is a general feeling that AI is over its skis, that it's going to tumble if it doesn't correct itself, and possibly this pullback is something of a correction and a reevaluation of the value of the stock. So where do I think that IREN and AI is going? Well, I think the 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 other thing I got to thinking about more like around, I guess, 5:30 this morning is, where is AI going? And I've shared this with my tribe members before. I think it's where it's going is it's going to replace this, or at least supplement it in a meaningful manner. Right now, I can use this to answer any question that I have. I just push the microphone and ask Google or whomever or ChatGPT, whatever I want to know. But I got to ask the question. I still don't have anything that has supplemented my mind. I made a comment on one of my videos the other day, that maybe it was day before yesterday, that if you don't have a memory, and if AI doesn't have memory, it has to start over every day. And I got a comment on that video on YouTube that, yeah, I have, this individual said, I have Alzheimer's and I have no memory. So every day is a new day. So I understand what AI would be if it didn't have memory. So I think that is going to supplement my life substantially. But what I don't have yet, that I think AI can bring me, is a new ability to think on different levels, to absorb every element of my life and remember every element of my life, so that when I walk into a room filled with people, I know who every person is. I will have a pair of glasses that I wear that will have a facial recognition element to it. And whether I've met them before or not, I'll know who they are by just saying, who is it? Or thinking, who is that? My AI glasses will tell me who they are. I'll be able to compare prices on anything and everything in the world just by looking at it and saying who has the best price on that. And my AI glasses will search the whole internet and tell me, you can get that at Walmart down the street cheaper than you can get it at Amazon or Target or any place else. And that'll be a part of my life, because I'm going to have, and that's what's missing right now. I can get any question answered that I want if I know how to phrase the question. I can go to ChatGPT, and I've done it with the stock market. I shared yesterday that I went to the dermatologist and had two very attractive ladies strip me down to my underwear and look at every element of my body as I stood out like this. And then they said, "Drop your underwear," and they looked further. It was kind of an interesting morning, but I made the mention to these two ladies that you'll be replaced within the next 3 to 5 years. And they said, "What are you speaking of?" And I said, "The mirror that I'll have in my bathroom that I'll stand naked in front of and turn around slowly, and it will speak to me and say, 'Give me a closer look at that,' because I'll have a little tool there that I can put on it, or it'll be my phone and it'll look at that, and it'll replace them until I, in my bathroom with my Samantha, come up with something that I need some more information on." And that's where this is going. So I look at that and I say, who's going to process all that data from that mirror to my phone to my body to who's going to process that? Who's going to analyze that data? Well, I think it's going to be IREN and Nebitis and Applied Digital, and Microsoft, Google, Meta. Meta is going to give me the glasses. They've already made the contract with Ray-Ban, so I know they're going to be involved in it. So what I'm getting at, I guess, is I'm okay. I'm okay lending $66,000 of my stock to someone to offer financing to Iran to meet the demand they have from Microsoft, Google, Apple, and possibly me someday for data processing inside their data centers. And then apparently they make some more money off of Bitcoin. So that's what I've been thinking about, and I really felt I needed to share it with you all. Looks like there's about 67 of you on right now, and maybe more will see. That's another question, another comment that I said that I saw, and Kerry, I don't think your videos, because you're not discussing specific stocks and telling us what to buy and sell, are going to get many views. Well, know what you own. Know what Google and YouTube is all about. YouTube pays me 0.0125 cents per view. I don't give a damn about views. They aren't going to pay the bills. What I care about is those people who do view this, see some value in it, learn from it, and say, "Hey, I need to learn more, and I need to become a part of his tribe and pay $60 and possibly make more money than I make on my day job." That's really what I'm in this. I'm not Mr. Beast. I'm not appealing to 50 million views a day. That's not the game I'm in. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm not here to give you a free lunch. I'm here to teach, to train, to share with you the knowledge that I've been able to put together so that you can improve your life. Now, the reality is that 95% of you won't take up on it. You haven't taken up on anything. I got a message that said, "I'm raising a family, and I only have so much to invest, and I can't afford $60 a month." Okay, maybe you ought to look at where you drink your coffee. Maybe you ought to look at how much beer you drink a month, or bourbon, or whatever. Invest in yourself. And the best investment you can make in yourself is knowledge. And all the knowledge in the world is now available to you if you know how to access it. That hasn't changed a whole lot. When I graduated from college, or excuse me, from high school, I had a choice to make. Was I going to go on to college and get education? Well, I barely graduated from high school because I'm dyslexic. I didn't have much choice. Harvard wasn't available, and neither was Wharton. But Ball State, being a state school, had to take me. They were a land grant college, and they had to take me if I could pay the tuition. And I worked in a factory at night, so I could pay the tuition. But they also told me that we're on a quarter system here, and 50% of you will be gone at the end of the first quarter because we don't have room for you. We're going to make room for you for one quarter because the state requires us to be there. But I learned how to learn. I learned how to compensate for my inability to read, and compensate it with my ability to think and to apply logic, and how to make deals with teachers that if I can do this, and this, you'll pass me. So I learned to compensate. If you find yourself in a position raising your family and you can't make ends meet, you're doing something wrong. You're not acquiring the knowledge that you need to give you the ability to raise your family. You're spending your time and your money in the wrong places. And you see this every day. Read the book on Elon Musk. He wasn't he was no genius. He is a genius, but he had problems he had to get past. Read the history of Jeff Bezos, of Steve Jobs. These people were not drop kicked billionaires. They had to compensate for what was a part of their life to achieve what they achieved. They compensate. Every one of them compensated. They were not born with a silver spoon in their mouth. No. So don't give me that shit that I can't afford to educate myself. No. You can't afford not to educate yourself, because if you don't, you will not be able to feed your family and raise your children. That's what you've got to rectify and change. This is the learnings of an 81-year-old man. I've been down this road you're on. I've been this close to bankruptcy. No. Learn what AI is about, learn how to use it, and learn how to become a billionaire, because you know something that nobody else is willing to invest the time to learn. And AI is going to be a pair of glasses that will supplement this, which will be replaced by a chip that will go in the back of your neck, and you'll know everything if you learn how to use it. Okay, I've got some other things I need to think about today, and we'll talk again soon.